Community. My name is Dan Tait. If you have the great fortune of joining us here on Redbird, or here at Redbird, or on the line, you're here for Three Little Birds. So thank you for joining us. This is our Singer-Songwriters Night, where three singer-songwriters gather every Tuesday night and expose our hearts to the world. We open up these rib cages and we tell stories about the songs. We maybe improvise live. We and sometimes release new music right here at Three Little Birds. So there's a couple things I want to mention before we get to the performances, before I introduce you to these two wonderful performers before your eyes. First and foremost, our quote-unquote free shows. These Tuesday shows are quote-unquote free, and they remain quote-unquote free based on your generosity. So there's two ways you can take care of your artists tonight. So the first way is the old-fashioned analog tip jar. If you are familiar with buskers in the streets and cases, it's very similar. Follow along, there is one tip jar. It's not a guitar case, but it's a tip jar at the front of the stage. It's just at Leila's feet, and you can go visit that tip jar and tip however you deem fit. The second way you can take care of your artists tonight is the newfangled digital tip jar, which is a QR code. There's a QR code on every table. In fact, there's two QR codes on every table. They're red, and you can just put your phone up to that, and like you do when you're ordering food, you can shine your phone up to that. It's gonna bring you to a website. Enter in $100, $500, $30,000, whatever you think is appropriate, and we will gratefully and graciously receive that tomorrow morning. The other thing I want to mention is we are broadcasting live across the world with the help of Rebellious Unicorn Studios. We've been doing this since January 2024, and we are continuing our fantastic partnership with Rebellious Unicorns. So if you fall in love with this series, if you go home tonight, or if you're watching from home right now tonight, and you fall in love with this series, I encourage you to subscribe, because the Rebellious Unicorns programming is fantastic. There's shows every single day now, and it's a lot of fun to follow along. Plus, you can watch these Three Little Birds live, or you can watch them on demand. So if there was a Three Little Birds that had, Leila in the past, there is one of those Three Little Birds that has Leila Neverland from the back catalog, so to speak. All right, my friends, how about I introduce you to these two fantastic artists in front of your eyes? So on your far right, this gentleman has been he's long been a performer, a singer-songwriter, a writer, a touring musician. He took on a walking tour that's traveled across the country, and he's also a fantastic community builder. He runs a wonderful online community called Write Songs You Love. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the stage, our friend Michael Averill. Okay. Standing center stage, this woman is a force bigger than her hair. She is one heck of a performer. She's got soaring vocals. She has toured. She has led orchestras. She has recorded live records. And she is a name synonymous with the Okanagan music scene. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Redbird stage, Leila Neverland.
Thank you.
And we're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna start with a tune I wrote just over there on Okanagan Avenue. Oh, my name's Dan Tait. Yay.
And this is Dan
I'm your
Tait.
host. I'm here every week, so. So I'm going to play you a tune. This is a tune, it came out of, those tunes that come from relationship changes. I was just talking with a dear friend a moment ago about, the changes that come at us, and they knock us on our butts. And this song came from that. I ended up going from a living with my partner situation into living with two bachelors and a 2-year-old and a extremely large stack of empty cans and some mold and rotting kale in the fridge. And it was one of those gut check moments, and so I got a song out of it. I only lived there for a couple months, but I got a song out of it, and this is called These Lonesome Blues. I got out of my bed about 9:30, 10. I got a crack in my eggs from an organic hen. I live by myself, oh, since my baby's been gone. I'm just an elf on a shelf, I hope it don't last long. Put on my boots, it's time for me to go for a stroll. I gotta find my friends, 'cause the lonesome blues are digging me more. Oh, the kale in the fridge, it's starting to rot, and though I'm doing just fine, it's all that I got. I go out on the town a lot more than I did. It's so lonesome at home, I'm gonna flip my lid. I set my mind to my records and I sit down to read. I gotta find my friends, 'cause lonesome blues are big and baby. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Michael Averill. Well, I'm out on the porch, I'm just having a smoke, and I'm telling myself all the corniest jokes. What the neighbors must think when they see me out back. Oh no, it's that old bearded guy, and he's finally cracked. Sit my mind in my records and I sit down to read. I gotta find my friends, 'cause lonesome blues are big and big. I gotta have my baby back, 'cause lonesome blues are big and big. Oh, oh, oh. Thanks, you guys. Thanks so much. I do want to throw it out there. There's a couple empty seats up front. For anyone at the back that's trying to hear, that wants to listen to the show, we fully encourage you to come join us at the front of the stage.
Come on down.
Leila Neverland.
Come on.
Sister, we haven't been on stage together since the last Birds. As if my watch would tell me exactly when the last Birds
Mine
was.
does.
It does? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks.
Excellent.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Oh, that's good. We're good. How are you?
Smashing.
Smashing. Darling, we're smashing and we're good. So are we doing it where I get inspired by your story and I say my story?
It is totally up to you. That's the beauty of these. I encourage no set list.
Okay.
But if you have a set list and you want to blow our heads off, then
No, I don't have a set list.
okay. Well,
I totally came just open.
yes.
Okay, so you talked about leaving one relationship and winding up with moldy kale.
Well, rotting
Right?
kale.
Rotting
moldy
kale.
kitchen though.
Moldy kitchen, rotting kale.
And the kale made the song actually. Do you have a song about rotting kale?
Well, I was thinking maybe I do, but I don't. I do have a song about, that moment from one to the other, relationship things. leaving one relationship, well, it sucks. I don't know. Even if there's not another one there, it sucks more actually when there's not another one there. So this one's called Edge. That's a part of leaving someone. And that was the song. That was it. That's what happened. It was abstract. When you're standing in front of her face, you got tears in your eyes, and you just don't know what to do. I beg of you, go on and be true. When you're standing on the edge, feels like you're losing your mind. Don't know what to say, don't know what to think. Feels like you're standing on the brink. Just remember to breathe. When you're standing on that ocean deep, yes, you're wondering what she's got in her key. I beg of you, go on and think before you leave. When you're standing on the edge, feels like you're losing your mind. Don't know what to say, don't know what to think. Feels like you're standing on the brink. Just remember to be. When you stop, it's fucking perfect. Where did you even get those? Don't know what to say. Don't know what to say. I don't know what to think. I'm standing on the brink. Oh, that just did me in. All right.
Of all the things I expected, Michael, and when you get to know Michael, you expect lots to come out. I didn't expect tiny cymbals to come out.
Whatever. Just melt my broken heart.
I'm here for you.
Oh, God.
Leila, that was fantastic. The Edge. Mr. Michael Averill, how you doing?
Now I know. Now I have to watch out over here on my left. He said it was going to be crazy. I had no idea. We got little ding-dong thingies hanging out.
I've been waiting for this day for many, many years.
You've been planning.
I've been planning this for at least 10 years.
Oh, God.
I think that's when we met. It was probably about around that time, probably in that realm, at least, I think, which is crazy. Yeah, she consulted the Holy Watch, so it must be accurate. It's cool. Of all these years, yeah, this is the first time of us either being on the same stage together. So I was very much looking forward to this. Dan is always a treat to be on stage with. I always cherish this time greatly. And to be able to hang out with Leila as well is just such a gift. So thanks for having me here. Love these series. These Three Little Birds series are so cool. You can totally, yeah, here you go. These can be the communal dingers tonight. There you go.
Communal dingers.
Ding away as your heart desires. I was particularly looking forward to coming tonight for the sake of, it's been a really interesting start to this year in terms of just new songs, but just it's a certain type of new songs that have been coming through for me that feel like every time I write one, they're very intentional for a particular reason, and it seems like when they get written, it like paves the way for the next one on a deeper level, and it feels like I'm going on this like deep staircase down to something with depth that I don't have the best words for yet because it's still so fresh. It might be up. It might be so deep that it's up. That came straight from Leila. I can't claim that one, so. But yeah, so I was looking forward to trying them out tonight with you and just seeing what you think about them. This whole period of time here, I've really just been really being amazed in awe of what a cool thing reflecting is. Like just stopping to take a moment and think about how the stuff in our lives that we wind up in either by chance or accident actually affected us. And really is taking a moment to think about how we're different as a result. And for a lot of years, all I did was just think, I was kind of living more in the way of life is just about experiences. And if, like that's what it is. Like otherwise, what is it? If we're not kind of learning, experiencing new things, is that living? And so for quite many years, I just went on a quest of just doing a lot of stuff and just throwing myself into everything. But I got to a point where I think I did so much stuff, I forgot about all the stuff because I never stopped to think about what that stuff really meant. So that's kind of a new revelation I'm having to really go back in time and think about that. And I definitely encourage others to do it. It's very rewarding. It can be really hard, really, really challenging sometimes. But the biggest lesson I've learned to this date so far is that it's not something you can rush. You can show up for it, but you can't force it. It's really hard to make expectations on what you get from that. So it's been very humbling. So this is a tune all about that. It can take its own sweet time. Who can blame it? There's a lot on its mind. No, it's not an automatic service waiting on your beck and call. Try to push and pressure your way in, but it don't work like that at all. There's no right rushing reflection. 'Cause it doesn't like taking directions. You can make your invitation, but it needs an open door to come and go. You can try to start a conversation, but there's no rushing reflection. Patience may earn you a dance, but you don't get to determine however long that lasts. If you can settle down and if you learn to get out, you'll never be the same. Because once you've been with reflection, you're forever changed. There's no rushing reflection. 'Cause it doesn't like taking directions. You can make your conversation, but it needs an open door. Come and go. You can try make an invitation, but there's no rushing. Reflection.
Redbird, what do you think? I was so psyched for tonight to come. Tonight's going to be really fun. We're just getting started. That was only song one from each of us.
Excellent sprinkling over there.
Yeah.
Thanks for the.
Back. I can't have
No, leave him over there. Dan's got to have his.
dangerous
Dan's got to have his
over
moment too.
I
So.
got to chime in
Okay,
at some point. I'm here all night, folks. Well, that one really spoke to me, Michael. That was really, really wonderful. That's
Teacup
since-
song.
That's 2025? That's a brand new one?
That was the teacup challenge one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to,
I'll tell you.
I don't want to, like, thematically this may not align, but it spoke to me, especially when you were speaking before and you were introducing the song and you were talking about taking on all those experiences when we're young, because I did that too. And I'm in a period now where I'm trying to look back and look at that meaning. But until that song, I always kind of chalked it up to I'm just ADHD, and I will forever forget things, and then it'll come back to me another time. But so that song's given me pause to think. But I'm gonna play a teacup song, and it's about my ADHD, and it's I wrote this for the Ice Teacup Challenge, not this past year, but the year before. And if you're wondering what the Teacup Challenge is, it's part of Michael's online community, and twice a year he does a teacup challenge, and in this teacup challenge every day you get a prompt, and using that prompt, in the time it takes for you to brew a cup of tea and drink a cup of tea or coffee or what have you, you've got to write and finish a song. And it's really beautiful because it attracts people of all different, walks of life, artistic abilities, and it's really magical. The day after, to watch all the teacup songs go up in this community, and you spend like hours watching people sing these songs. Some of them silly, some of them deep and heart-wrenching and emotional. And this one's on the sillier side. So the prompt was absolute nonsense, and it was the first prompt of the week of Ice Teacup Challenges. And I decided I had been freshly diagnosed, or I freshly got my ADHD diagnosis, and I was like, I'm gonna show what it's like in my brain for a little bit here. And so the people that love this song, they call it Barcelona. I still don't really. It's called The Wandering Path of My Mind, but you can call it Barcelona. Turn signal clicking, exploding kittens, wandering path of my mind. Sit and be mindful, 'cause recess is canceled. Oh my God, look at the time. Lilacs and fly traps and licorice root, baseball and pool halls and old rubber boots. They say that my brain has been wired quite unique, and it seems to change with each day of the week. Barcelona, the word sounds so nice. Barcelona, and a bowl of white rice. So this is just a little picture of what it's like in my brain for, I'd say, maybe half an hour while I was drinking that cup of coffee. Birds outside chirping, coffee I'm slurping. I'm finally taking my time, finally. Sunscreen on elbows, giant marshmallows, the wandering path of my mind. Barcelona, Roman rice. Barcelona, and a bowl of white rice. Barcelona, and the three blind mice. Barcelona, these pretty lights are so nice. So if you've got a friend with ADHD, that might be just a little window into their mind. Thank you for the chime. That was perfect. It brought my attention right back to here in myself. Because I was out there somewhere.
I thought you were going to keep going. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I told you this was dangerous. You need to
You're natural.
take the chimes away from me. Okay.
It's kind of more fun with the chaotic temptation there for you, though.
It's just like.
Now, Leila, I feel bad. You are cultivating a wonderful online community as well.
Why do you feel bad?
Because I didn't mention it before.
That's okay.
Okay. Well, I'll mention it now. Leila is cultivating a wonderful online community as well.
I'm doing some things.
Yeah.
I have a newsletter. Is that the one you're talking? I'm doing some
think so.
things. I have this newsletter called the Neverland Chronicles, and if you want to get the Neverland Chronicles once a month, you just go to my website and subscribe. And as part of that crazy art piece, basically, that you get in your inbox once a month, you also get access to this thing I call the Vault. And it's all this unreleased material. And you only get access to it if you're a subscriber. It's all free, like it's not, I'm not gonna like bait and hook you in the future or something. $29 a month subscription, no. It's just good old-fashioned music for the soul. And then in the other part of my world, there's the Rooted Temple is a community of thinkers and people journeying toward their inner voice and what it means to listen in here and what it means to reveal that fluid expression. So that's another sort of facet arm. I love this teacup thing. I'm so in. Just put me in. I don't know how that happens. But okay, I'm in now. All right.
Done.
Thank you. And I saw you using your phone for words. I like that. So I'm going to copy you. A song, you guys are speaking of new songs. So that's how I'm going to link to this one. But I have to find it. It's so new. Give me a minute. I should have done this before. I was just obsessed with these ding-dong things. Yeah, just take them. Take them away. And for this tune, I'm going to need some singing from you, okay? So, are you going to sing with me when I ask you to sing?
Yes,
But I know
Leila.
you are. I love you. Are you going to sing with me when I ask you to sing? Yeah, okay. Rock on. Okay, amazing. Now I got you. And you are. I heard you, girl. Okay. All right. But you have that cool thing. That's helpful. There we go. So I'm making an album. That's fun. I'm making a new album. And this is a new song that I don't think many people have heard. I play this festival twice a year called She Is Wild. It's a boutique women's festival. It's boutique, okay? It means we get naked. That's pretty much it. I'm kidding. It's much more than nudity. It's
I've misunderstood what boutique means all these years.
now you know. It's a festival with about 130 women who come together to really just be empowered in their beings. And it's workshops, it's guided meditations, it's incredibly revealing and heart-wrenchingly beautiful sisterhood. And as part of it, they have me come and do the last night of song. And last year, they have 2 locations. One is in Alberta and one is in British Columbia. And last year at the British Columbia location, before that festival, I had always just kind of dipped in and played. I was so busy, I have to go, sorry, and I didn't. I was like, I'm not doing any of this stuff. Reflecting, come on. Until last year. And then I was like, okay, fine, I'll sit here the whole freaking weekend and do all of the things. And I just cried for like 3 days, and that was super great. And then I laughed a lot, and I learned a lot. And I wrote this song, mostly naked, in the woods, with a ukulele that a woman lent me. She was also mostly naked. There was a lot of... Anyways, and it's great. And I wrote this song there last August, and it's just one of those tunes that just kind of comes out all in one plop. I don't know. It's a plop, bloop, bloop. There's the song. So here it is. It's called I Am Whole. And when we get to the part where I want you to sing, I'm just going to teach it to you then, okay? And I've never actually played this live, so I have no clue how this is going to go. Like, I think it's in D minor. Yeah, that's right. I look at you for confirmation. Is this right, Michael?
Temporarily say maybe.
I think so, and then it changes a whole bunch. Just beware. Split me open, find me grounded, steady in my flow. Pluck my heartstrings as you woo me, feel my body, feel my soul. Rip the woven silk beneath our feet, let the strings of what we make be complete. Give your fingers to the fibers and become how we choose to be. When the spirit of the dead comes to find you in your sleep, embrace everything you keep sacred and speak. I am whole, and my body's beautiful. I am free to be everything that I'm meant to be. And you have to wait while I move the words. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Yeah, that's right. You could snap, you could clap right there with Michael, huh? Wow. Oh my God, you did it. Can you do that again? Uh-huh. When the sun sits on my kissed lips and it lights up the way in, when breath finds a space that binds us, makes a path toward the star within. As the wind blows through the city and the birds call in the morning tide, when the earth drops, hold me open as I resist the urge to hide. When the spirit of the dead comes to find you in your sleep. Hey, never everything you keep sacred and speak. I am whole, and my body is beautiful. I am free to be everything that I'm meant to be. Ooh, I am whole, and my body is beautiful. You want to sing it?
Yeah.
That's all you got to sing is that part. 1, 2, 3, go. I am whole, yeah, and my body is beautiful. I am free to be everything that I'm meant to be. Again, I am whole, and my body is beautiful. I am free to be everything that I'm meant to be. Thanks.
Nice.
So, that's what happens when you write new songs and you never play them live and then you play them.
It's got to
was
happen
beautiful.
sometime.
Yeah.
Why not here? Why not? Why not? That's amazing. I love that. You also you taught me something. I realized like for a lot of years I guess since probably about 2011, between 2011 and now, I've had unique opportunities pop up where I've written songs for other people for special occasions or for certain situations, and I've probably done about 60 of them since then. And I actually have it listed on my website as boutique songwriting.
Like, but do you do it naked?
I'm rethinking now. This
think it
might
has
have
to
to
be
be in the
naked.
offer, you know?
Whole new income stream.
Raise the price. I'm like, oh, geez, these are different expectations than I realized I was setting out to the public.
See, but guitars are perfect for that. Like,
yeah,
you
can
know,
just perfectly cover.
pianos, not so much. Like, I'm short, so that's good for that part, but.
Amazing. Okay. So much learning. So much learning. Sheryl Crow said, every day is a winding road. Ain't it the truth?
Hey, it's the truth. Winding roads. Full circle, baby.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
Well, you'd mentioned kind of the busyness and all that kind of stuff. It's a word, busy is a word I feel I'm getting more and more allergic to.
Nice. I love that for you.
As Leila loves that for me. It's a weird one. I don't know why I just really started to kind of avoid that because I think for a long time I felt that was like the thing to strive for, that, you know, being busy is good. I know part of the music community I used to be a part of, there was always like emphasis on who's the busiest musician, as in like who's playing the most. And after a while, I just like, who cares? In a way, it's like it's not necessarily a goal. Like I've done years where I've played up to 300 shows a year, and I was just exhausted and like fried, and like, why is that the goal? So there's something shifted at one point where I just felt like quality over quantity was a very much needed change. And I think that goes for a lot of things, but I've really been re-examining that in my own life in lots of ways, particularly with relationships and communication, and like trying to really invest more conscious time into relationships that are really important to me, like family and close friends, and how in my previous years of kind of playing with the idea of striving for busy, that sometimes I've let that slide. And that's something that kind of sucks to look at when you're just like, when you recognize what your side of the grass is and you really look at that, that's tough sometimes, but it's really important. So in this reflection phase, that's kind of something that I did recently. I just looked at that side of it and what I want this year to be. This is something I've changed for myself. I throw this out there if you want a different way of goaling, if that is a verb. I don't know how you plan your year, whether it's resolutions or any of that kind of stuff. I've had a lot of enjoyment and success out of thinking more about, at the end of 2025, or whatever year we're in, what's the feeling that I want to look back on the year and have? And from that place, maybe that can be my compass for the year. Maybe that can actually affect every decision that I make, because if it's in alignment with that, then it's a contribution towards that feeling that I'll more likely have at the end of the year. So that's been a really, really positive thing for me. I don't know if you ever struggle with that kind of stuff. Maybe give it a go, because it's been doing some cool things for me. So this year, what I decided I wanted to really focus on is really just knowing more about my family and friends, and asking them questions that I've wondered about, that I've been putting off for a long time, either because I was either too busy or maybe just too scared to ask. Same goes for close friends. So trying to be braver in that side of things. And for me, like, the best way to really put that out there is to talk about it and write songs about it. So this is in that line. This will be the first time ever playing this out live, so I'm enjoying this new song wave that we're on right now. Well, I just watched a year go by, and I didn't call. Sitting here now wondering why I didn't try at all. Maybe I'm just too ashamed to walk out on that line. Somehow it's just easier brush it all aside. But I wanna know more and be more known when it comes to family and friends. Don't wanna regret missing out or be thinking about things I wish I said. Don't wanna decorate my casket with everything I held off asking. I wanna know more and be more known with my family and friends. Remember being bolder, but as I get older, I've dropped the ball. And the habits that I have today, they get in my way. like a wall. Maybe I'm just too ashamed of how long I've hidden away. Excuses make me comfortable and resistant to change. But I wanna know more and be more known when it comes to family and friends. Don't wanna regret missing out or be thinking about things I wish I said. I wanna decorate my casket with everything I held off asking. I wanna know more, be more known with my family and friends. Maybe no one cares what time it is, or what time there is till it's gone. All I know is silence. It's not what I want. 'Cause I wanna know more, be more known by my family and friends. I don't wanna regret missing out or be thinking about things I wish I said. Don't wanna decorate my casket with everything held off asking. I wanna know more, be more known by my family and friends. I wanna know more, be more known by my family and friends. Do it a couple of times here. If you're feeling something similar like that, I think we could all benefit from knowing each other a little deeper, a little bit more. If you want to try singing this with me on this. I want to know more and be more known by my family and friends. I want to know more and be more known by my family and friends. Let's do one more here. I want to know more and be more known with my family and friends. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. There we go.
Okay. Okay, now you have to take
Thanks for singing, everyone.
beautiful.
Thanks.
Family and friends. I was trying to get that whole chorus. It's in there.
Well, I'm going to bring you a new one as well.
Are we gonna do all? Because I'm feeling a new one too next,
Yeah?
and I feel like are we just doing all new? Like
All
nobody's
new.
heard
I'm
any
down.
of this.
In an all-new
I'm down.
Three Little Birds.
It's a very boutique night. Might as well keep it going.
I like his shoulder shimmy. He's really. You even have tassels.
I got the spinnies. I got the spinnies here. I'm good to go.
Did you say spinnies?
The spinnies.
Okay. I learned how to do that once. It was in a different woman's event. It was Rainbow Campout. And it's just a wee story about tassels, Dan.
I'm
And-
not opposed to it.
And the trick is it's all in your shoulders, kids. So I won't demonstrate, but
We don't have that rating clearance.
I don't think so.
No, okay.
No.
We have to check with Dustin and the crew.
That's the story.
Sure.
Big shout out to Dustin and Rebellious Unicorns for providing
Thank
a streaming situation, because there's people like Tanis and there's people like my friend Dana and people from all over the world that are able to watch this in this moment. So hey.
Hi, everybody.
It's very, very cool. And they do it so well. There's a lot of streaming stuff I've seen. I've never seen one this high quality.
Yeah.
So good on you guys. Thank you so
incredible.
much. It's awesome.
Well, I'm going to play all this reflecting and all this new material. I was, a number of weeks ago, I was reflecting. And I've written a song for my mom. And, but in recent years, much more recent years, I'm building a stronger, closer connection with my father. My father and I, you know, we always had a relationship, but with men of an older generation, it can be really difficult to break through and find emotional connection. And we've been building that over the last couple of years. And it was a sunny afternoon, and I remember I was thinking back to the crazy things that my dad made us do, because my father is an engineer. If anyone here knows an engineer, you know that there is no way in hell that they're going to pay someone to solve a problem, because engineers are problem solvers. And my father had the bonus of 5 boys to carry out all this dirty work. And so I was thinking about all of these contraptions, all these things that my father used to do to get things done on the property, because I was really fortunate. I grew up on the Ottawa River, and we had this beautiful riverfront property. My parents still live there now. And but a large property requires a lot of stewardship, a lot of taking care of the land and you know, serving the land in hopes that it'll serve the family as well. And so on the Ottawa River, it's a massive river. It's dam controlled. There's 60 hydroelectric projects on the Ottawa River alone. 60. Wow. And so that means every spring, all the winter runoff, it floods the river, and you don't know. You might get flooded, or you might not. And so we were getting pretty consistently flooded, and my dad decided it's time to build a retaining wall. And so, you know, the family's imagining, okay, we're going to hire a landscaping company and put up a bunch of bricks, and then it'll be done. Nope. I bring you back to the fact that my father is an engineer, and he's not going to pay someone to do that. He is a problem solver, and he has 5 young boys who can carry out all the heavy work. So what the plan he devised, we had this huge raft made of 4 giant empty oil drums. You know the old oil drums that they used to hold oil to heat a house? 4 of those. It was a big 16-foot by 16-foot raft. And he pulled it right out into the Ottawa River with the motorboat, anchored it, and then we all paddled out to this raft, and we would dive for rocks. We would dive for not rocks, not pebbles. We would dive for rocks. Wow. And at the bottom of the river, so my dad, he had built this giant cantilever on this raft, and he would send a rope with a chain on the end, and he would send it down, and he would say, yeah, just hook it around the rock. What's the problem? And so we would have to dive and find ways to like hook this chain around the rock so it would lift the rock up, and also conversely, it wouldn't fly off the rock and like flip up at my father, the only one who was on the raft. And so reflecting on this, it made me think quite a bit. And so I wrote a song about it. It's called "The Son of an Engineer," and it's about that, but it's also about something much deeper. How it can be really hard to connect as men. It can be really hard to connect, but once you forge that bond, it's such an important, huge, wholesome bond, not only for you, but for that man that holds that bond. And so this is called "Son of an Engineer." Bruised and bloodied hands are the sign of a man who knows hard work is the key to find your live. My father had these hands and he'd try to understand every time I try to pass our chores on by. And the winch he fastened to the raft, we all laughed, somehow it worked. And that can-do attitude and no fear is using a stick to steer. I'm the son of an engineer. I remember these contraptions with 100 different actions, to be sure, convoluted but secure. In the fall we're hauling docks, sons don't forget warm socks, 'cause when we're done splitting wood with wet feet ain't fun. With ropes he knows 100 different knots. I'd just tie lots, but he'd never hold the load. And that can-do attitude, no fear, he's using a stick to steer. I'm the son of an engineer. Through storms, swells, and wind, the dam held it in. And oh, I had rim could hold the load. I'm weak. Quite like they did before, but that don't mean that we can't take from the best. Mending fences with our hands, try to love our fellow man. Let it out when the steam builds up inside, and the wind she fastened to the raft. We all laugh, somehow we work. And that can-do attitude and no fear is using the stick to steer. Table to pop my beer, I'm the son of an engineer. We're still working on that one. It's new. It's real new, but
Gorgeous.
there's some roots in there. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Well, my friends, this is the last round. So while you're doing the last round, if it's okay with you, I'm going to come visit you with our analog tip jar, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to take care of our artists financially. The other opportunity, excuse me, the other opportunity you have is all night long, you can use one of those QR codes. So if you are on the way out the door and you realize, I forgot to tip the artist, there's a giant QR code right there that you can get from anywhere in the room. I dare you, try it. You can get it from anywhere in the room. The other option is all the QR codes on the table and the analog tip jar I'm about to deliver to you. Leila Neverland. It's up to you, sister. You got it.
My grandpa was an engineer, Dan.
Yeah?
And he too had all the answers.
Ah.
But we were girls. I'm kidding. He built bridges. He was one of those civil engineers. He wasn't very civil, though.
Oh, yeah.
He was a ding-dong. Anyways.
Unruly engineer.
He was a unruly,
Unruly.
martini-drinking, Marlboro-smoking civil engineer. I smoked 2 packs of cigarettes since I was 17. I'll never quit. Kind of guy, you know? Yeah. So this song is also new. We've all done, I think, pretty much new songs. I'd like to invite a great big round of applause to Mr. Dan Tait for doing all of the hosting he does. Thank you. So dedicated to create space for songwriters to come and share original music. That's rare. So thank you for being a rose amongst, I don't know what the expression is. I'm bad with expressions. What is it? A rose in a field of weeds or something. Thorns with a ding. Yeah, we're good now. That made it all, that made the expression special.
That's the final ding of the night, so there you go.
I wrote this song as a lullaby to my child a very long time ago, and I don't know where it went. My kids now, they're going to be 15 and one just turned 12. So I have like huge, that baby on my back, she's 15 in May, like mind-blowing. And I wrote this lullaby because when my kids were growing up, as a mom and a songwriter, it's nearly impossible to think that you can do that. So you just constantly momming. So I found a lot of space and time to songwrite and to practice my craft when my kids were going to bed, because I would rock them to sleep one after the other. So it would take about an hour, and it was great vocal practice. I would take all the nursery rhymes and rewrite them. Like, do you know the Muffin Man? Became right? Like, oh, hi, everybody. Yeah. So I just would start, making up nursery rhymes because that's where my musical outlet was. So this is a song I wrote probably 12 years ago, and it just got forgotten in a thing. And literally 2 nights ago, I was like, what is this melody? And I'll just play you the thing that came to me. Isn't that pretty? I was just like, what? Thank you. I was just like, what is that thing? I was like, oh my God, that's that lullaby I wrote my kid like 12 years ago. So here is an old song, new song called Sea and Dust. There was once a girl on a hill. She didn't know what to do but keep still. Everything was quiet until She saw a shooting star, a tail bright. It streaked across the sky, the middle of the night. There was a boy who stood on a hill. He didn't know which way was north or south until he looked up at the sky so dark above. And he was filled with love. Saw that star rolling by above. Sea and dust. Sea and dust. Sea and dust. Sea and dust. There was a man who stood on a hill. To his left stood his love forever still. They looked up into the sky. They saw that shooting star shine bright. They saw that star with tails of firelight. Sea and dust, sea and dust. Sea and dust, sea and dust, sea and dust, oh, sea and dust. Here we are, it's time to rest your head. Lay on the grass and be in bed. Hold your gaze up to the sun. The fun has just begun. The fun's just begun. The fun has just begun. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Good night. I love you.
That was gorgeous, Leila.
Thank you.
Dang. This is like everything I thought it was going to be, but also more. Thank you for both of you for just being down to do this. I've been finding more and more too, just so much more attracted to original music, and especially new fresh music, and when it's in its kind of infancy this way, and it's just like really new and raw. There's a different energy to it as well, which is just like a privilege, an absolute privilege to be just in the company of and witness to and to play with. Is like life choices to this point have been good. I can reflect on that and say thanks, past self, to get me here today. So thank you for sharing. It's such an honor. And yeah, this has been super special. I think this has been my favorite night ever of being here, ever.
And you've done so many, Michael.
I've done a number of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this is okay. So the things that I've shared so far, this is what's been a really unusual start to this year with these new songs. Is like I said, they kind of feel like they've opened the next door for the next song. And what you two just shared is like so perfect for this. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this one tonight, but it's probably, I would say, the most unusual songwriting experience I've ever had in my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were talking about, your dad and just like family and like the different lullaby aspects and like the relationship with your child and the music there. When I kind of set out, had that reflecting song that made me think a little bit more about, I really want to focus more on family and friends and connection more this year. And as soon as I wrote that song, I just started doing things, and I think this is what I mean by doing stuff like that. As I started reaching out to my brother and my sister a little bit more already, and it's like okay, that thing is like helping to just like get that action going, and then something really bizarre happened, and about a week and a half ago, a friend of mine, and actually I wanted to just share this idea. This is there's a little book here. It's called What is Love? I figured being close to Valentine's, this is a cool thing to share. What is love in general is just a good question to ask ourselves. But as part of this little book is a product of a storytelling community that I'm a part of. I've been a part of for a number of years now. And we do these online shows once a month just for storytellers to just practice telling their true personal stories. And this is a theme of a show that I put on online a year ago, and everyone was so pumped about the stories they came up with that they wanted to make a book out of it. And so that's out and about now, and I have a story in this book. It's my first time being an author of anything, like officially, which is cool, which is a neat experience. But anyway, like you can get this online through Amazon or anything, and all the proceeds go to an organization called CamFed, which benefits young girls' education. And it's a really sweet project altogether, and I've met a lot of great people through this. And one of the authors that is also in this book, her name is April. And April I have become really good friends with through this community, and it's something special, I think, when you're just around other people and you're really sharing stories from the heart and that are meaningful. It's amazing how fast you can get to know someone in a short period of time. And she lives in San Francisco. Like it's a distance kind of thing. A bunch of us are all over the world, but we have this neat connection and through stories. And so she's shared with me a little bit from time to time, a little bit about her daughter. And about 6 years ago, her daughter, in a very, very tragic situation, passed away while she was on a trip. She had just graduated college. She had just like done all these things, like just like really vibrant person, ready to kind of take life on, and then that was taken from her. And it was a really, really hard thing, obviously, for my friend to go through. And I've heard her talk about it from time to time, but recently, a couple of weeks ago, it would have been the anniversary of her birthday, her daughter's birthday, which she would have been 30. So young, too young. And anyways, I had never met her daughter before, but she posted a picture of her daughter online and a little write-up that she had written as kind of an obituary, but just like a tribute to her life. And it was just really, really special, and it felt amazing to kind of get to know her daughter through that writing a little bit. Anyway, a week and a half ago, I have a dream that, one, I'm with my dad, which is a significant thing. Some of you know a lot of my music projects have focused around my dad, and he passed away a number of years ago, but he's never been in a dream of mine, ever. Not once. So that in itself was already significant. It was a very interesting thing to be with him and to be traveling around somewhere. I have no idea where we were, but we were driving around and we stopped at this market and we were just wanting to get some food, and we ended up meeting these two young women at a bar similar to kind of like where Callie and Annie are sitting over there, like a similar situation. And there was these two women approached us and started talking to us, and I recognized one of them as my friend's daughter, which was really, really wild. And the two of them started singing to us. They started singing a song that I very clearly remembered the melody for. And I could hear I didn't remember any of the lyrics other than it had something to do with trees. There was like a tree component to it, and I was like, wild, really, really wild. But I just remember that the two of them were harmonizing together, and it was just this really cool experience. Anyway, I wake up from this dream, and I'm just like, it's so vivid. I've never had that happen. I've never had a dream song situation. So it's interesting to hear between the two of you, like, what's happened before for you. And I put it into my phone, and then I just thought, I was like, maybe there's enough for me here to write. I could maybe figure something out. But it didn't feel like that was the complete picture. It felt like I have to tell my friend about this. This is something that I think we need to do this together if this is going to be something. And she's not a songwriter. She's never done anything like that before. So I call her up and I said, hey, let's have a call, like just meet me on Zoom. And I tell her all this stuff, and her jaw just drops and she's just blown away. And I'm like, I didn't feel like I had a whole lot to tell her other than just like what her kind of vibe was and how she like gave us food recommendations in the dream and was like very kind and very helpful and just wanting to do this and just share some joy. And she's like, yeah, that was like totally her personality. She was just like such a free bird, and just what she would totally do that kind of thing. And I told her the thing about the tree, and the tree for my friend is such a significant metaphor for the way she lives her life. Like she has this whole model of living around the structure of a tree, and it was just really beautiful to share this back and forth and kind of get to learn more, not only about her daughter, but also her. But for her to kind of hear this and think about the fact that maybe she could actually have this different relationship with her daughter again, which is wild. So this song ended up, we spent a couple of days back and forthing a little bit about this, and it kind of turned into what felt like this is the message that she kind of needed to hear from her daughter back to her. And there's a part in there that talks about seeing the best of you and me. You'll hear that line. My friend was saying how much her daughter like really absorbed a lot of the lessons that she tried to impart on her, and almost so much so that she would get called on those when she wasn't doing it for herself by her daughter. She was just like very, very accountable that way. So the fact that she said that, it's so like her to go and like find like you to tell me this thing because I need to know this in my life right now. It's wild, 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 wild stuff. So I've never written with people from the afterlife before. This is a first. This is a very big first for sure. So songs find ways. I think we're calling it Like a Tree. Like a tree. Like a tree, remember what it means to dream. It grows its seeds through the efforts of its roots and leaves. And gracefully lets go of what they are. Little mysteries grown out of its heart. Like a seed, I remember all you gave to me when I became a tree and grew all my own roots and leaves. Possibility set a higher bar. I became so free, dancing on the stars. Dancing on the stars. Who you trying to be? Standing in the shade of your own tree. The real you is the only you I see. May I remind you to see the best of you in me. And like the breeze rushing through brand new leaves, I will be there floating like a tree fairy. And you can best believe, especially when it's hard, you're never very far from me. Hold that in your heart. Hold that in your heart. Breeze rushing through brand new leaves, I will be there floating like a tree fairy. And you can best believe, especially when it's hard. You're never very far from me. Hold that in your heart. Hold that in your heart.
That was magic. I don't want it to be over. My friends, thank you so much for joining us here at Redbird. I would love to hear a big hand on your right, Michael Averill. Center stage, Leila Neverland. On the sound, Kaylee Duggan.
Haley!
On the visuals, Dustin Balcom.
Dustin!
My friends, my name is Dan Tait. I'm your host every week, and it's an honor. Thank you so much.